Hi, Jeffrey Byard, your host, and this is Healing Shame. I'm just going to go ahead and pop the reading right on your screen and let's just get right down to business, shall we? Here it comes. May 30th, Tradition 5. When carrying the ACA message, we stick to our story and to the principles of recovery. We don't proselytize, bully, evangelize, or manipulate the person we are attempting to help. From the Big Red Book, page 516. The focus of a single purpose guarantees that we are never going to be distracted by other tempting glittery objects. We do one thing only. We carry the message to the adult child who still suffers. We may be tempted to run into our communities and raise an ACA banner proclaiming the virtues of the program and the obvious need for the 12 steps to address many social ills. We know there are more people who need the program than those who truly want it. Yeah, that last part of the reading where it talks about people needing it but don't truly want it, more people who need it than truly want it. I couldn't agree more. That really stood out, jumped out at me. I was teaching today and I played a few videos for the students. We were doing some music listening class, sort of, and we were just checking out some videos. And I played a couple of American songs like Linkin Park Heavy, and then Zayn and Taylor Swift, and then, of course, Eminem. And all those videos talk about coming from a culture of dysfunction. I could really identify with all the videos, especially things like Eminem, Linkin Park, all the internal battles that go on with those artists. And of course, Chester Bennington committing suicide about 6 years ago, Eminem dealing with major drug problems, alcoholism, all kinds of stuff he's dealt with. And I was watching those videos and I was like, wow, I can really relate, but man, do we come from a place where we've got so many broken people who probably are not doing the deal and probably not in and really seriously doing any of this recovery work that is required to heal from the brokenness. And I thought, gosh, you can have all the money in the world but be totally broken and still fucked up. Or you could maybe not have a lot of money, but be working on yourself to a point where you can stand to look at your own reflection in the mirror. So hey, maybe a hard call, but it's amazing the types of people we revere in this world. The ones who are so sick and making lots of money. A lot of them are maybe narcissistic or dealing with all kinds of mental health problems, and it's we have so many people who need the program, but who don't truly want it. I can think of my own family members. I can think of people in society and American culture, all over the world, really. But America is it's just so easy to pick at America because we have one of the most sophisticated media outlets of propaganda machines in the world. And mainstream media, social media, all that stuff, started a lot of it started in the United States, and we can follow people and celebrities and see how they're screwing their lives up and screwing other people's lives up. Some of them commit suicide, some of them go to prison. It's just heavy. And then it made me realize, wow, when I was on my way to the subway after class, I had my sunglasses on. I was looking down. I felt this pent up frustration and anger still, and I could like identify so much with Eminem and Chester from Linkin Park and just all of that type of music. I could still feel I've got some of that frustration or anger pent up in there. It's still there. And I almost feel like, if I was without that, who would I be? Sometimes I feel maybe I hold on to that anger as a source of my identity. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. Your anger being a source of your identity. Without it, you'd feel naked. But that's the point here with a program like this is that's what we're striving to do is to practice self-love, not self-hate, not raging against the machine and being angry with society. We're trying to move beyond survival, beyond the rage, beyond the anger, and into a place of peace and tranquility and self-love and acceptance, patience, pity, and tolerance for others, love, compassion for not only ourselves but our fellow human. And that's tough. It's a trick. It's a real struggle and a battle some days to go through this process, especially when you can identify with the brokenness of your own culture dysfunction, and that torn to pieces of that Zerrissenheit that William James talked about. And I know it's still there in me, and I'm working daily to heal that with a few simple resources at my disposal. However, Tradition 5 does not require us to convince anyone. Experience has shown that if a person lacks the willingness to change, they are unlikely to receive the ACA message well. So we carry the message to those adult children who still suffer, and we move forward, living the principles of the program. We do what we can to ensure the meetings are available to all who want them, and we learn to let go of those who don't respond to the message. We humbly realize that each person has a higher power available to them, which is the only thing that can help them find the willingness to hear the message. Here's our mantra. On this day, I will carry the message in a manner that follows Tradition 5. I will remember, above all, that I carry the message in my daily life through my own recovery. That is from copyright 2013 by Adult Children of Alcoholics and Dysfunctional Families World Services. That's from the Strengthening My Recovery text. Yeah, really to wrap it up, regarding the rest of that reading, all I can do is try to exemplify the program through my actions. I mean, I take this program out into the world, and I want people to see that it works. And how can I do that? Well, I just basically it's the golden rule stuff, treat others as I'd want to be treated, as I want to be treated. Try to do the best I can. Try to carry the message to the still suffering adult child, and there are many of us, as I mentioned before. So many. But I try my best to carry that message on a daily basis. I try my best to work on my defects, to have my survival traits integrated, to talk to my inner children, my inner family, my critic, thank my critic, pass it on how I can, share openly and honestly. Today I shared a little bit about my own personal upbringing with my students. They were a little shocked, but I felt like it was appropriate to do. And one of my students, I also shared a message of please reach out if you need help. And there's only a couple weeks left of the semester, and I wanted them to know that if they're struggling with any mental health issues or thoughts of suicide or anything like that, please don't hesitate to reach out. These are ways that I exemplify my own recovery on a daily basis, because if I wasn't doing the extent of this program, I wouldn't be passing on messages like that. It's okay to reach out for help. You're not weak. There's nothing wrong with you. You're perfectly fine. But it's okay to ask for help and to realize and admit that you may have a problem and need some assistance. So I'm not responsible for all of those people out there who don't want this program. That's not my responsibility. I'm here to try to help them. I'm here to try to carry the message. And if there's somebody who doesn't want the message, they probably need to go through a lower bottom, because we all have to go through the bottom that gets us here. It takes what it takes. My bottoms, I have to be pretty badly mangled to accept spiritual help, whether it's in AA or CAFA, Caffeine Addicts Anonymous, or whether it's in ACA or whatever it might be. I've usually got to go for a pretty low bottom before I'm going to reach out and start doing the steps, saying the prayers, making phone calls, um, working through the steps, reading the book, talking to a sponsor. That takes time. It takes pain. Sometimes pain is the greatest motivator. So, but above all, um, I have to look out for my own recovery. And before I can help anybody else, I've got to be focused on me and making my life better by working these steps, by carrying the message, by, like I mentioned earlier, all the things I do on a daily basis. So it's been a pleasure to be here. I wish you a pleasant journey. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. All the best.